What's up, guys? Matt here at Matt's Movie Review. Today we are talking about, of course, the Blu-ray review for Cobra, the 1986 action flick starring Sylvester Stallone and Brigitte Nielsen and Brian Thompson. A bunch of others as well. But those are basically, excuse me, the ones we're going to talk about. Now, I know you see the door behind me. That'd be over my left shoulder over here. They're old doors. You know, this house was built in the 20s. So everything is pretty much brand new in the house. Everything's been redone and all that, but except for the doors are all original. So I think the door handle eventually gave out. It fell on the inside. I couldn't get it out, so I was beating on it with a hammer trying to open it up like an idiot. And so that's why it looks like that. So I'm going to have to fix that. Some wood putty, some sanding, and some paint. Doors need to be repainted anyway, so whatever. So that's why it looks like that. If you're looking at over my left shoulder there and going, what in the crap? It looks kind of ugly, I know, but that's the story with the door. And someone's probably going to ask me. But anyways, let's talk about this movie. Now, I did already do a review for the movie. So I will leave in the description a link to the actual full review as I go into the story a little bit more. I just kind of want to talk about some of the, the actors in the movie and the director, and then talk about the Blu-ray and how this movie looks on Blu-ray, and if I think it's worth it on Blu-ray. So it's first thing I want to say about this movie is another reason why I'm doing this review. This kind of a re-review that I'm doing is because I find this movie is highly underrated. And just to go what just to prove what I'm saying, you go on IMDb, and now I know you can't trust IMDb all the time. You can't. But you go on there, this gets a 5.0. I mean, I can't understand how this gets a 5.0. I could see some people's reasoning for giving Over the Top 4.9. I think it gets, so basically a 5.0. I understand some people's beef with that. I love the movie. I don't agree with them, but I can see, why that movie might not strike a chord with some action, Stallone action fans. This movie, I have no idea why it gets a 5.0. I can't understand it. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Near perfect. Now, the only reason I don't think it's perfect, you'll find out here in a little bit. We're going to talk about it. But highly underrated. So that's why I kind of wanted to do a re-review. And so that's basically it. First, we're going to talk about the director, George P. Cosmatos. Unfortunately, George is no longer with us. He died April 19th, 2005, at the age of 64. So rest in peace, George, because he was great. How cool would it have been to see him do another movie with Sly? I think it would have been very, very cool to do. It would have been cool to see him, maybe direct like The Expendables or Expendables 2 or 3 or whatever. But unfortunately, he did pass away. He did some very good movies starting with Rambo First Blood Part 2. His first movie was Sly. And then his second one was Sly, of course, Cobra. After that, he did Leviathan, which is another movie which doesn't get talked about as much. It's a pretty underrated movie. If you haven't seen Leviathan, check it out. And, of course, Tombstone. What a great movie Tombstone is. The last movie he directed was in 1997, and it was Shadow Conspiracy with Charlie Sheen, Donald Sutherland, and Linda Hamilton, which I have not seen, so I cannot comment on that movie. That movie I just never got around to seeing. It didn't really look like something that interested me, I guess. But I maybe will down the road here, because I do like him as a director. He made some great movies. So he had worked with Sly before with, of course, Rambo First Blood Part 2. In between the two, man, I'll tell you what, it's very hard for me to choose between which one is better. They're almost both equally as good. I don't know if I could pick between them. But, and then Brian Thompson, of course. Arguably his best movie. I don't know. I mean, you know, he's not the greatest actor in the world, and I kind of like that he didn't have a lot of lines. You know, like, you know, I think Cobra was probably the best thing he ever did, honestly, you know, and I thought he was okay in Lionheart as well, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. A lot of people know him from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He played Shao Kahn, and it's funny, as much as I hate to say it, when I hear him yelling at Sly at the end of Cobra, "Come on, pig," I just can't help but hear him as Shao Kahn. I don't mean to, but that's just how I hear his voice now, because he did so much yelling in that movie and screaming in that movie as well. But he does a really good job as the bad guy. Really evil, really sadistic. You really buy this guy as like an absolute, just straight up murderous killer without any feeling. He does a really good job. Probably his best acting he ever did. I don't know. I'm not sure why his career didn't take off to bigger movies like this movie. You know, maybe I would have liked to kind of see him have a good guy maybe in the 80s in some sort of a movie where he could have played a bad guy and or a good guy, and maybe try him in that. Another movie I have to mention him. He was in a movie called The Order with Jean-Claude Van Damme, where he plays the bad guy. And he was only so-so in that movie. That movie's kind of a weak movie. There's some cool parts in it, but overall, no. Check it out if you haven't seen The Order. But so Brian Thompson, a very, very good villain in the movie. Now we're going to talk about Brigitte Nielsen for a little bit. And in my opinion, she was the weakest link out of everybody. Now she wasn't bad. I will say that she wasn't bad. But she wasn't good either, I don't think. I thought she was very, very average as this character, with the exception of the modeling scene, like the modeling video she was doing with the robots, and of course the great Angel in the City song playing behind, and you see Sly going and talking to people, trying to find the Night Stalker, or the Night Slasher, I should say. Exception of that, she's very good. But other than that, I mean, she's just average. She's not that great. I mean, at times, I don't know. I mean, the romantic thing that Sly had with her, I don't know. I didn't really buy it as much. I didn't really necessarily buy it. I don't know. Like I said, just average. There's 100 other actresses who can play the same role. Period. That's why I give it a 9.5 instead of a 10. It's because of Brigitte Nielsen. And I don't like Brigitte Nielsen. I can't stand her. I think she's a scum human being, to be quite frankly and honest with you. And it's not like I'm just saying this out of the blue. I mean, you look her up on Wikipedia and look different things. I mean, and of course she was married to Sly. Of course, he was only married to her for, 18, 19 months, I think it was. So I think he even found out that, look, this lady is a lying, cheating whore. She had an affair with Tony Scott while she was with Sylvester Stallone. And that's like, how does that happen if you think of a Tony Scott, Sylvester Stallone? But needless to say, we're probably never going to see Stallone in a Tony Scott movie. But apparently also she had an affair with Arnold Schwarzenegger before he married Maria Shriver. He was with Maria Shriver, but apparently had an affair with Arnold. Now, this is coming from her, but who knows? I mean, and then she's been married something like 5 times, I think. Been all plastic surgeryed up. She looks like a freak show. And her basically whole existence now is like a big freak show. She did that reality show with Flavor Flav, where they were in love, or I don't know if they were actually married, but apparently they had some relationship. She was on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, and apparently she's an alcoholic. I mean, she's just a freaking wreck. Just a wreck, But, the only movies I thought that worth mentioning of hers, of course, Rocky 4, Cobra, and Beverly Hills Cop 2. Only 3 movies. And Red Sonja. Red Sonja is a good movie. I like Red Sonja. But again, as far as Arnold movies go, not the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie out there, but I thought, she was hot in it. She did all right in it. But those 4 movies, but other than that, she's not really done much, and I just don't like her. And again, very average. She was way better in Rocky 4, I thought, than this. But some people may disagree. But like I said, 9.5. Stallone, I mean, what more can I say about him? He was the coolest cop you've ever seen in your life, kicking ass with the one-liners, the shades, the gun with the Cobra on the handle, and the weapons, and just his overall attitude and his one-liners, and just great. I mean, just perfect character for Sly. Of course, he wrote the screenplay for this movie. And so he was very involved in the movie, and I just thought he did a really good job. I've always kind of wondered what a sequel would have been like. It's not too late to do a sequel, but, I don't think there's any plans for it. But let's talk about the Blu-ray, since that's the whole reason we're doing this. Now, it is a Warner Brother release. Now, I showed this on my Blu-ray update that I had purchased a bunch of these, and they're all this color. They're all black from Warner Brothers. They're pretty much matching. Oh yeah, ooh, we gotta be politically correct. Of course, we have to be environmentally friendly. I hate that inside here and in these, by the way. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Picture quality we'll talk about first. The picture quality, as far as the transfer, I gotta say, it's not the best. Pretty grainy at times. It didn't transfer real clearly at times, but at other times it did. So there's some scenes that really did clean up well, and some of them that didn't. Most of these Warner Brothers movies that they released of Sly's movies are very good. This one is, I would say, an average. It's not spectacular, but clearly the best version of it out there. It is an upgrade from the DVD. The sound is what I really liked. It's remastered DTS HD 5.1 surround sound. And I cranked it up and listened to it. It sounds really good, really clear, and really loud, extremely loud. So that's cool. I loved having the surround sound. It includes the commentary by Mr. Cosmatos, making a featurette, which is not in HD. If it is, it doesn't. You can't tell it's in HD. And of course, it has the theatrical trailer, which is an older movie like this. It's kind of cool to see the trailer. But, because it's one of the coolest trailers that you've ever seen. So, the movie was only $10 on Blu-ray. And, if you want the best, I guess this is the best version of the film. You won't find a better version of this. But if you have it on DVD and you don't have $10 to spend, you'll be doing okay just with the DVD, truthfully. But, I try to support Stallone any way I can, so $10 for a Blu-ray. Hey, you see it for $10, $5, pick it up. I mean, like I said, it's definitely the best version of the film. So that's my Blu-ray review for Cobra. One of the most underestimated Stallone movies out there, I think. It's I wish it got more love, but hopefully people will rediscover it, and the new generation of Stallone fans will discover Cobra. Like I said, watch my other review for the full review of the story of Cobra and everything else. I haven't watched that review in a while. I have no idea if I just repeated myself this whole review or what. So that's about it. I don't know how many more I'm going to be putting up this week. I am going to be going on vacation here shortly. Probably in about a week and a half, I'm going to Florida because I'm sick and tired of this cold and I want to be warm. So I'm going to go to Florida probably the first week in February. But I will try to get up one or two more maybe before I leave, maybe one at least. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments. I don't know if any of you have the Blu-ray. Tell me what you think of it. And talk about Cobra in general. And we'll see you back here inside the Stallone Zone very, very soon.